Aloha Beautiful Soul, and welcome to Intuitive Exploration. I'm Lynn Pearce, and today we're going to talk about being divinely guided. And when I say that, do you feel that you're being divinely guided? And before I became on this spiritual journey, I never really thought that. But as I learned everything along my journey and everything up till now, I know that I'm divinely guided. And when I ask you this, do you know or do you believe that you are being divinely guided too? Where in your life have you seen the blessings, the miracles, and things that you couldn't really explain, but it really helped you along the way? For example, back in the day when I was young and I was married, I was waiting for my husband at the time to come back from the Army AIT to go to his first duty station in Louisiana. He came back for a visit during the winter break and he asked me for divorce like 4 days before my birthday. And I'm just like sitting there in shock because I was waiting for him to come back so we could go together and, start a new journey, begin a new chapter. And at this point, we were together already for 5 years before we got married. And so at that moment in time, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life because at that point, I had to think about what I'm going to do by myself. I don't have a partner anymore. He doesn't want to be with me. And I knew the reason why. And it was because we were high school sweethearts and he kind of got a new taste of life when he was out in boot camp in AIT. You meet people from all over the world and he just wanted that freedom to do what he wanted to do. Me, I'm old school. I could be with one person for the rest of my life and I would be happy. But that is not what happened on my journey. So I was then guided, divinely guided, with the thought and download, you should join the Air Force. And I never would have thought to do that unless that happened. And when I think about it, it's such a huge blessing because prior to him joining, we both just had, you know, jobs here and there. There weren't jobs that could really give you a good career. And I didn't have that. And for me, I just planned on going to school. But after we got to his first duty station, and this was now my opportunity to join the military. And I would say, as I was graduating high school, I did have an Army recruiter call me and, tell me about, oh, we can pay for your college and blah, blah, blah. And so I did tell my dad, like, oh, hey, I think I'm going to join the military because, they pay for my college. I know that, my parents, my family can't pay for my college. And he told me, no, you're not joining the army. And I'm like, okay. And I left it as that. So this event happened 6 years after that because I was 23 when I joined the military. And it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So when you think about your life and thinking about those situations where you feel was at a very low point in your life, because at that point he was the only person I've been with. He was my high school sweetheart. We've been together for so many years, and now you're coming back and telling me you don't want to be with me. And when I look back on that, it's like, well, that happened for me, not to me. And so when you look at those different events in your life, how can you shift your perspective and see how that event worked out for you instead of it happening to you? And I have other stories too, but this was a good example for this one. And know that you're always divinely guided. And when you really take in that belief and that knowing, that you are divinely guided, then you move through life with less anxiety, less fear, because you know that whatever is happening for a reason. And if you can sit down with yourself and be like, why is this happening? And at that moment in time, aside from being divinely guided to join the Air Force, why that was happening was because he cheated on me before marriage. He was cheating on me during marriage, and I didn't love myself enough to leave. I just stood there and kept allowing him to do it, thinking that he was sorry, that he was going to change, and that was not the case. And so that was also divine orchestration of Laura, we're going to help you get out of this mess because it seems like you're not going to choose to leave. So we're going to choose for you. And thank goodness they did, because now I'm with my amazing husband, my amazing husband now. And he's just the biggest blessing on top of my kids and on top of me, my spiritual journey and my healing journey. But look at your life, shift your perspective on those events that were sort of the low points on your journey. Shift it to see how that was happening for you, not to you, and take the wisdom from that. So, for me, I always know that I'm being divinely guided, and I hope you feel the same way too. All right. Until next time, lots of love to you. Bye.